1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi guys, and welcome to Marketing in the Madness, where I interview some of the leading minds in the world of marketing on what's next and the things you need to know to innovate in your marketing strategies. Now, if you've not been here before, hi, I'm Katie Street, and today I'm actually coming to you from Shop Talk in Barcelona, where I'm interviewing people specifically on the future of marketing in the world of retail. And my goodness, do I have a good guest for you today. So I have just been interviewing the lovely James Godfrey. James is the head of marketing and sales capability at Nestlé. Now, I didn't know this until he's just spoken to me, but actually Nestlé are the biggest food and beverage company in the world. So James's job is a little bit different to most. He's going to explain it for you in a minute at the beginning of the interview, but just so you know, he actually teaches Nestlé how to do good marketing. So he runs teams across the globe. He's got insights on all of the big campaigns. He's been doing this for 25 years at Nestlé. So we delve into some really exciting things that are going to really help you excel in your marketing. So hi, James. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me, Katie.
Yeah, excited to have you here because actually I think your role is quite different to anyone else I've interviewed this week at Shop Talk. So can you start by explaining what you do at Nestlé and what that means, I guess?
Yeah. So I am the global head of marketing and sales capability building. So I report to our chief marketing officer and I guess also dotted line through to our head of sales and customers. I lead a global team of 5 and we essentially develop the knowledge, the skill content, the behaviors, the mindsets, and how people can then, I guess, consume that and then apply it so that they can actually do the jobs they need to do. So we have a community of 55,000 marketeers and salespeople around the world, 180 plus countries, see all the languages, cultures, and we're there to help them, survive the madness.
I love that. Well, we are called Marketing in the Madness. So what are you guys focused on right now when it comes to, you look after, actually for context, what might be helpful, first up is to talk about some of the brands that you guys have. Most people know Nestlé, but can you, first up, let's talk about some of the biggest brands or the ones that people will know.
Yeah, for sure. So what you may not know is Nestlé's made up of 31 billionaire brands. So there are 31 brands selling over $1 billion Swiss francs or dollars each year. So many, many, many big brands. You may know Maggie, for example, KitKat, Nescafé. So big brands. Some that you may not necessarily associate with Nestlé. Nespresso is one that we obviously very proud of and is doing very well. But also into pet care. So Felix, Purina one. So we've got quite a spread. My particular favourite, I'm from Australia, so I've been 25 years with Nestlé, and I grew up drinking Milo. I don't know if Milo's a brand you know, but it's quite big through Oceania and Asia, and it's like Nesquik we have as well. So it's a bit like the Nesquik that we have down there. So it's big brands, and real pleasure and honour to be leading our people to help grow them.
Yeah. So what's on the marketing agenda for you guys? What are you focused on?
Yeah.
What are the capabilities that you're really focused on training and providing to the team at the moment?
Yeah, it's such a good question. And there are many. We have a particular priority at the moment on creativity. So we believe that really is at the heart of what marketers need to get back to, obviously to delight consumers and customers. So big focus for us and our agency partners, which is really exciting. So we work together to bring our brands to life. So big focus. The other one that is really interesting at the moment and obviously heavily impacted by technology, and retail digital media has been a big focus of the Shop Talk event now, is media itself. And so how to make great choices in what to invest in and how best to delight people all the time. And we're seeing a heavy move to online as everybody is as well. Obviously, AI is starting to emerge now, so we're tackling that. So the two big things, but complementing that, design, packaging design, point of sale design, which really fascinating. And then there's probably a broader topic of content. So how do you at scale, continually sort of personalize and deliver really impactful content, just always on. And companies like TikTok, for example, are really challenging us to get faster and faster and sort of keep that quality and still retain what our brands stand for.
That's an interesting one, actually, you referencing TikTok there, because as brands and when you've got these products, are you doing more of this kind of human? I'm a big fan of human-centered content, influencers recommending things. Like, how big is that for you guys now? Because you've got some fantastic brands, and you do some really cool different ads, campaigns. Like, the content is so varied across the different brands that you have. But are you focused on doing more of this kind of human-centered content? Is that big for you guys?
Yes, absolutely. I think we have to now. Even if we didn't want to, it would happen anyway. And so we need to get better at managing our influencers. We need to get better at supporting them and allowing them to support us in the right way. So the interesting thing from my side, a capability building side, and what I'm really excited to see my subject matter experts focused on is the systems and the process that enable that to happen. So you can keep control of it. You can make sure you're investing wisely. And we're very much in that early stage of it. But you will see quite a lot from Nestlé, I think, on that moving forward.
So I've got a big question now. Going back to the capabilities piece, how do you encourage and create a culture that drives creativity? Because I often feel, especially with us and our team, you can't just turn on creativity.
No.
So in order to have very beautiful creative outcomes, what's the process? How do you create that? How do you do workshops? I'd love to know any advice you have on that, because that would be really useful for me and I'm sure my listeners as well.
Yeah. So maybe I'll come back a little bit. The first thing we've found is time. So people have got to have time to do it. It doesn't just magically happen. And so how do you create time? And there's a lot about what you won't do. So you can't do great creative on everything because you're trying to run a business. You've got obviously challenges internally and externally. So trying to simplify what we do and decide what we're not going to do. And one really great way of doing that is where we choose to invest. And so if you can secure more investment to perhaps put into something that is bigger and better, that you can maybe get a better agency, time and talent on as well, that's sort of how we're setting up an enabling system to do it. And a really good example, maybe I can share with you, is KitKat. So I'm not sure if you've seen the latest KitKat campaign. So 1957, have a break, have a KitKat, was this it's a tagline that started, and it's pretty much stayed the same ever since that point. So how do you continue to get great ideas, great creative around something that's been going and hasn't changed for so long? And so what the team did was, rather than, which is typical Nestlé and one of our strengths, is having all these local executions where you're tailoring it to the needs of the local consumers, they actually consolidated their efforts and their investment globally, all came together and worked on a campaign and picked up a couple of really great things. So I Want to Break Free from Queen, they got the license for that. They've sponsored Formula One. And so by consolidating, by pooling the investment, and then by coming together with better talent internally and externally, we're able to generate this great content. And so that's a bit the formula that we're starting to see emerge. More money, more time, better out.
Yeah, I love those really creative, integrated campaigns that kind of map across, various different places in different content streams, from experiential, being at events, and then also bringing that to life on TV.
And it's inspiring for our people as well. It's exciting, and you've got big assets that you can get behind and that consumers love. So it self-perpetuates the excitement and interest.
Yeah. Love that. Well, 25 years... You've probably seen a lot of campaigns.
Yeah.
Is there one standout campaign that you've seen the team, deliver that you absolutely love? Tell me about your favourite campaign at Nestlé.
So 25 years, quite a long time. There are some quite different ones. So I'll go to one early on in my career, and I'm not sure if you remember this, but Nescafé ran a Valley series. It was almost like a mini series of advertisements that was a story of a couple that came together and got married, and you followed these people through their lives, and coffee became part of who they were and what they did. So absolutely brilliant. And so that really marked me early on in my career. If I come to the end, I've just shared the KitKat one, and that really excites me from a scale perspective, because it feels like the world's biggest food and beverage company should be doing things on an absolutely enormous scale. But I think the one that has probably struck me the most was when Nespresso partnered with George Clooney. And we had great fun with that. I was not directly involved in it, but being able to be a part of a company that was doing that sort of thing, that the halo of which lifted us all, I think was brilliant. So, and that went on for many, many years and continues to add value to us and our consumers.
Yeah, I mean, it's so famous, isn't it? It's a brilliant campaign, and having that celebrity endorsement is great. That's not something that we've spoken much about actually at the show. We've been talking a lot about influencers. We've been talking a lot about, I guess the new TikTok economy, social commerce has been a huge topic. What is your approach or the ingredients, like, celebrity endorsement? Is that still high on the agenda for Nestlé, or what are the kind of good ingredients when it comes to creating this really powerful and I guess, content that's got a stamp of approval?
Yeah, for sure. We maybe a bit of a different one that you might not have picked up on is one of our pet care products, cat food, Felix, and they partnered with Robbie Williams recently. So I think where it's got a role to play and it brings something to the brand that allows it to be fun and engaging if that's relevant, then absolutely, yeah. But I think we're open to everywhere. It's so many brands and so much opportunity to be creative across all of the various channels and solutions, then we'll go for it. But yes, it's part of the mix.
Yeah, it can be quite playful. I think that's the advantage.
Robbie was playful. He was, and you had this cartoon cat, and they were interacting together. I mean, it really is brilliant. I encourage anyone to go and have a look at it and see how these ads came out and this campaign came together. Really good fun.
We might be able to get some in on the social clips with Mariana. We'll make sure that you guys watch the socials. Last question. Obviously, you've been at Shop Talk all week, like me.
Yep.
What do you think's next? Where should we be focusing our attention when it comes to the future of retail?
Yeah. I'm going to be a bit anti-establishment because I have been surprised at Shop Talk that we've gone very digital. We've gone AI. We're going after tech. But almost all of my time and most of the focus we have as a business is not on tech. It's actually delivering really great brand experiences for consumers. And much of it is not online. It's offline as well. But it's also how we do that, how we create it. And your questions about how we do this are really relevant because we've got to find the time to make time for this work we know we need to do and do it really, really well. And I don't see a lot of solutions getting us back to the foundations of marketing and what really matters and making sure that we have those solid before we do the exciting stuff at the end. Because it's really those things that are driving us and our business. It's what we're focused on now heavily, and I'd like to see more of it. But having said that, I'm really excited by how commerce is changing and how we're going to be able to connect with consumers in ways perhaps that we've not seen before. And AI and agents are obviously quite topical at the moment. So yeah, while we're trying to get the fundamentals and basics right, we've got one eye on what's coming because we know that's where the households, the penetration, the consumers are going to be in the future.
Yeah. You're right, though. It hasn't been as much of a focus as it should be, really, as, product packaging design.
Yes.
Still so important, having that standout on the shelf, especially for FMCG brands, which all of your brands are, F2B. Yeah. Like, that is still a hugely important thing. If you don't get found in store.
Yeah. Well, I talked about creative and media as two sort of priority areas, but just after that is design and packaging is so important. It's wild out there, and particularly as you go online now, and even the digital shelf. Trying to manage that well and be found is really, really challenging for a marketer these days. But then you add insights and trying to understand what consumers are thinking, consolidate those insights and be able to use those quickly. It's getting faster and faster and faster. We've got so much information, and so we're seeing technology now that's helping us consolidate, scale, and then share that quickly so our teams can get onto it and use it. So it's I'm really proud of what we're doing, getting back to these fundamentals, these foundations. And I think when you combine that with the wonderful tech that we're seeing, I think it's a really great formula.
Yeah. Yeah. Back to the brand, but helped with by technology, I think.
Yeah, let's delight consumers and let's really have great fun with our brands.
Yeah, love that. James, thank you so much for coming on and sharing so much of your insight. You've been an amazing guest. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you for having me.
So if you enjoyed this interview and you want to come and meet me and some of these amazing retail leaders at Shop Talk yourself, you've got two, not just one, two opportunities to do that. First up, we are going to be with Shop Talk again at Shop Talk Lux in Abu Dhabi from the 27th to the 29th of January. Just Google Shop Talk Lux and you should find it, and you can go and register to come and join us. And also, we are going to be back in Barcelona, possibly one of my favourite cities in the world, on the 9th to the 11th of June 2026. So be there or miss out.